Morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Megha Sharma, and I'm currently working as an associate professor in IIMT group of colleges, and I'm basically from BBA department. The topic which today I'm going to discuss is tax treatment for MSMEs. Well, before I start, it's very important to understand um, the meaning of the term MSMEs. Well, it stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Well, all those enterprises who have a working capital of more than 10 lakh and less than 5 crores is considered as MSMEs. Besides that, uh, as you all easily see, it is considered as a backbone for our industrial development. Why all these enterprises are considered as a backbone? Just because their contribution in our GDP is 8%. Here, it's quite important to understand the meaning of the term GDP, that is gross domestic product. Whatever the goods, final goods and services produced during one financial year, and that's contribution is 8% in our GDP. Another factor which is most important is 40% contribution in manufacturing output. Whatever the manufacturing sectors give to our economy, 40% is captured by MSMEs. Another interesting feature is 45% contribution in export. Whatever our country export to another countries, MSME contribution is 45%. That's why this is the most emerging and dynamic and of course a vibrant sector. And it is also considered as an important role playing towards economic stability. This is basically a brief introduction, like taxation as one of the major aspect of business development, which requires proper updation and planning. Of course, taxation need to do a lot of planning because we have to plan our resources, we have to plan our income, and then accordingly we will have to pay the taxes. So it's a process which we need to update ourselves, update our company as well. Taxation, of course, is an inseparable part of any business. Of course, it is an inseparable part. Another one is in present economy, the importance of tax planning is well understood by every corporate. Of course, MSMEs also understand the importance and the emerging facts, or I can say they understand the importance of tax planning. In case of MSMEs, excise duty and income tax, in contrast with other duties and taxes, are of utmost importance. Of course, in MSMEs also, I can say MSMEs also pay somewhere somehow excise duties, custom duties. So of course, they understand the importance of taxes. Another is the benefits of MSMEs. What sort of benefits that MSMEs are getting? First of all, and the most important benefit that they are getting easy bank loans. They need not high much security or a security amount that they need, or some depositors they want, or some guarantor they want. Of course they want, but easy bank available loan is available. Another one is concession in electricity bills. They got easy concession in electricity bills. Whatever the electricity they are consuming, they got easy concession on that bills. Tax rebate they are getting, exemption on interest rate on ODs. ODs is overdraft facility. So of course they got exemption on that also. A special 50% discount on government fees for trademark and patents. They are getting a special 50% discount on patents. It means if they go for patenting also, if they want that their formula cannot be, cannot be used by any other person or any other company or organization, so they can go for patenting, and for that they are getting 50% discount. Another important part is trademark. If they go for logo designing, they want some sort of logo and they want, some sort of trademark for their company, for their enterprise. So they are getting 50% discount on that also. Another important part is industries who covered under MSMEs. What sort of industries comes under MSMEs? Number one is food processing. As you all know, food processing, agriculture input, chemicals and pharmaceuticals, engineering, textiles and garments, meat products, sports good, plastic products, computer software, and many more. Of course, these are few, but many more industries are there which is not included in this list, but still their contribution are there in the development of MSMEs and our country as well. These this is basically the investment criteria. As you see, actually, I like to clear here one thing, that these MSMEs will invest in two parts, whether in manufacturing sector or in service industry. So if I'll go for first, I go for manufacturing. So investment, all those enterprises who have investment not more than 25 lakhs, then all these industries, all these enterprises are considered as micro industry or micro enterprises. If the contribution is more than 25 lakhs, but not exceed, but not more than 5 crores, then that enterprises are considered as small enterprises. And all those enterprises who have capital, who have investment, but not more than 5 crores are considered as medium enterprises. And another one is the investment criteria for service sector. MSMEs are also the service provider. They are providing some services and they are getting in return some sort of, income or some sort of profit they are generating. For that, the investment limit is less than 10 lakhs. If 10 lakhs or less than that, then that enterprise is considered as micro. If in between somewhere 10 lakh to 2 crores, then that considered as small enterprise. And between 2 to 5 crores are considered as medium enterprises. So this is basically the investment criteria. If you want to start, if you want to go and want to invest in MSMEs, then this is basically the investment criteria that we need to, or we have to keep in mind. Another slide is, this is basically the product wise share in export. What is the MSMEs share in export? But this is product wise division. Like for example, pearls, gems, jewelry, metals. This is around 35% contribution in exports. Electrical and electronic equipments, 8% contribution in exports. Articles and apparels, 11%. Pharmaceuticals, 6%, and others, 40%. Others maybe, sports goods, maybe meat products. So their contribution is 40% in exports. These are some leading banks which easily provide loans to MSMEs. You all aware about SIDBI. You all have heard SIDBI. It is a big name nowadays. SIDBI is a Small Industrial Development Bank of India. SIDBI easily provide loans to MSMEs. Another name is ADB, that is Asian Development Bank, IDBI, Rajasthan Finance Corporation, and of course, many more banks are there which easily give loans to MSMEs. These are basically the tax system, the taxes which MSMEs will going to bear. But this is the simple categorization of taxes. Taxes is basically paid on our income. Taxes are of two types: direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax, if I categorize direct tax, the income tax, wealth tax, gift tax, capital gain tax, all these taxes are covered under direct tax. And we have a lot of indirect taxes also, like value added tax, octray tax, service tax, which is nowadays called as GST, custom duties. One by one, I'll cover. Number one is wealth tax. As the name indicates, wealth means the income. How wealthy you are, how much cash you are having, how much assets you are having, how many machinery you are having. You have to pay taxes on all of it. If some sort of pension plan you have, some sort of financial securities you have, some sort of bonds, shares you have, some mutual funds you have, everything is taxable. So in general terms, if I'm talking about wealth tax, the tax on an entity's holding of assets. This includes the total value of personal assets, including cash, bank deposits, real estate, assets in insurance and pension plans, ownership of unincorporated businesses, financial securities, and personal trust. All these covered under wealth tax. Another one is gift tax. As the name indicates, if you receive something in gift, as a gift you are receiving something, but the amount of gift is not more than 50,000. If 50,000 is there, if more than 50,000, then that is taxable income. If less than 50,000, then it is exempted from tax. So here it is. According to our present gift tax law, what is the current law is saying? A person receiving a gift in the form of a sum of money or movable or immovable property, whether the property is movable or immovable, both are considered, is liable to be taxed on the value of the gifts. Gifts in the form of cash, gift checks, demand draft, etc. are covered under this act. Gift up to rupees 50,000 in a financial year are exempt from tax, but it's very important to understand in a one financial year, during a financial year, if you receive gift up to rupees 50,000, then it is exempted. However, if you receive gifts higher than this amount, the entire gift becomes taxable. Another one is capital gain. It's again very simple to understand. Capital gain is if you are getting some sort of gain, some sort of profit, some sort of, if you hold some capital assets, then of course it is again a taxable income. Like capital gain refers to an increase in the capital assets value and is considered to be realized when the assets is sold. A capital gain may be a short term or a long term. Of course, if it is less than 1 year, it is considered as short term. And if it is more than 1 year, then it is a long term asset and must be claimed on income taxes. Another one is excise duty. This is basically an indirect tax. Excise duty is paid, or taxes can be paid if something is manufactured within the country. If it is manufactured within the country, then it is called as excise duty. And custom duty is totally opposite of it. If something is coming outside the country, then it is considered as custom duty. And the authority which keep an eye on it is CBEC, that is Central Board of Excise and Customs. As you see, that excise duty refers to the tax levied on the manufacture of goods within the country, as opposed to custom duty, that is levied on goods coming from outside the country. And the Central Board of Excise and Custom, which is CBEC, is responsible for collecting excise duty. This CBEC is responsible for collecting tax. This is most important. Another is octray. As you see, these holdings, somewhere you saw these holdings on the border area, or in border you saw this check post. This is basically octray and toll tax. Something is coming into your state. All that vehicles need to check and taxes will be paid accordingly. So octray is a kind of charge or tax, of course, which is collected by the state government or the government on those goods that have been brought into the city or the state for the purpose of personal use and sale. Of course, whether those goods are coming into our city or into a state for the purpose of some personal use, maybe you carry that goods for your personal use or for sale, you need to pay tax, you need to pay some sort of charges according to the weight, according to the total number of goods you have. Taxes and charges will be paid according to that. As you see, that charges on the items are generally levied after on the weight, value, and total number of goods. How many number of goods basically you're having, what the weight of that particular goods, and whether you bought that goods is for personal use or for sale. All these things really matters. Another one is custom duty, another indirect tax. As you know that something is, coming into your country, CBEC keep an eye on every activity, it's safeguard to our country. This is the way by which government revenue can be increased, it's raises, and this is basically a custom duty that you all have heard about it, that whatever the things you bought into our country, you need to pay charges, you need to pay taxes on that particular goods. This is custom duty. Custom duty refers to the tax imposed on goods when they are transported across international borders. In simple terms, it is the tax that is levied on import and export of goods. The government uses this duty to raise its revenue, of course, to raise its revenue, safeguard domestic industries, just to save the domestic industries as well, and to regulate movement of goods, of course, and to regulate movement and to keep an eye on the movement of the goods also. Another is service tax, which is now called as GST, that is goods and services tax. GST, on in the year 2017, on July 2017, this service tax was replaced, and that was replaced by GST. As the name indicates, service tax was an indirect tax, of course, which is levied by the government on service offered by the service providers. Service providers, or whatever the service you are getting, or some companies, some enterprises who gave you the services, this tax is basically imposed on those enterprises. This is introduced under Section 65 of the Finance Act 1994, and this service tax now was replaced on July 2017 by GST. Another is VAT, that is value added tax. Every time when the value is added on the goods, to the goods, that is taxable. On every single step, you need to pay tax, whether that is of raw material stage, whether that is of packaging, that is of labeling, that is of transporting, and that is on the final stage. You need to pay tax on each and every single step. That is VAT. VAT is a consumption tax placed on a product whenever value is added at each stage of the supply chain, from production to the point of sale. The amount of VAT that the user pays is on the cost of the product, less any of the cost of the material used in the product that have already been taxed. That is deducted. Otherwise, it is applicable on each and every step. This is basically the tax rate applicability on MSMEs, or what is basically the tax rate which is applicable on partnerships, on proprietorship, on LLPs. Small businesses in India usually run either as proprietorship concern, partnership firm, or small companies. As you all know, proprietorship is single ownership. If I want to run my own company, then it is considered as proprietorship because it's a single owner. As we all know that partnership firms, if more than 2 or 3 partners are there, then that is considered as a partnership firm. And now the new term is LLP, that is limited liability partnership. Of course, that is a partnership firm which have limited liability. Limited liability means every partner have a limited liability that is already decided. So proprietorship concern are business run by individual, of course, a special kind of partnership namely LLP, that is limited liability partnership, that can be incorporated through the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. This LLP is again well supported by Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and special tax provision are available for small companies and small businesses. And a special provision, tax provision is there for small companies, medium, and of course, MSMEs are a part of it. This is basically the tax rate which is applicable to the corporate tax rate for companies with turnover less than or equal to 25 to 50 crores is 25%. If your investment or not investment, if your turnover is less than or equal to 250 crores, if your turnover is like this, then the tax slab, the tax rate which is chargeable is 25% is applicable on it, on that particular company. And if your investment is more than 250 crores, then the tax rate will goes high, and that is comes to 30%. And it is again very important to do auditing and to file income tax, and it's very well supported by form number 5, that is for income tax idea filing. And if the turnover exceed rupees 40 lakh, or if the contribution exceed 25 lakh, any of the case it is, whether any LLP, that is limited liability partnership, can have a turnover of 40 lakhs, or if the contribution exceed, means if the investment exceed 25 lakh rupees, then that LLPs need to be do auditing first. These enterprises need to do auditing first. Then they need to file the income tax. Again, item number 5, ITR form number 5 is there, which is in support of these MSMEs. You need to file, like form 16 is there, that we all know. SE, same form number 5 is there, and it can be filed online as well as it can use with the digital signatures. You can file ITR online also with the help of these digital signatures of the designated partners. That's all for today's session. I hope it will be valuable for you. Thanks for your support.